Well, as our good friend Congresswoman Elise Stefanik said, 1 down, 2 to go. The president of Penn is gone, Liz Magill. She has resigned. So has the chair of the Penn Board of Trustees. Now, interesting note, Dad.
Yes.
Still a professor at Penn. Tenured
professor at the law school.
Even there, they were unwilling to say, you're out the door. Pack up your boxes. In fact, she remains president until they find a new president, which at those schools can take a significant period of time.
Look, it's the right move because there is no context in which the genocide of Jews is a good thing. So that's number one. Harvard's meeting today. So that's number two. Number three, MIT is also in process of discussions. It's both because of what the board's saying, what some of the faculty are saying, but also some of frankly, the donors. I mean, I think the donors are having a big impact on it.
Yeah, absolutely. The donors are having a big impact on it. We know that in the case of Penn, there was a $100 million donation on the line.
I asked Harry at lunch the other day, what is it with the proliferation of these presidents of universities not being able to say that calling for the genocide of a particular people group, which includes students on your campus, is not some kind of violation of the conduct code at these universities, and they're hedging.
Many of these individuals are ideologically and morally incapable of speaking with clarity with respect to opposing genocide and calls for genocide on their campus. They believe that we can simply divide human beings into an oppressor versus victim category. And victims are so-called individuals that are seen as being oppressed by those that are successful. And if they are seen in that particular way, they have free expression rights and they have the capacity to demand the genocide, if you will, of individuals who are placed in the so-called oppressor class.
This shows you the power of a congressional hearing. It's been a while, Dad, since we've seen congressional hearings lead to action this quickly.
I'm trying to remember when. I can't really recall.
Maybe those Lois Lerner years.
Yeah, but that took months.
She took the fifth so many times, then all that stuff kept piling up. But it did take months.
Let this be a lesson to university presidents that you're not going to get away with this. This was at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the most prestigious institutions in the United States. And groups like ours and others are maintaining a high vigilance here. In fact, the matter is, Harry, these boards of directors responded.
They did, and they should. And also the donors have responded by being prepared to withhold future and even present donations, because many of the donations were subject and are subject to conditions. And I believe the performance of the president of the University of Pennsylvania demonstrates the unwillingness, at least on her part, of complying with the conditions of perhaps one big donation of $100 million. I'm sure the same will apply at Harvard.
They try to use fancy words like context and this and that, and instead of just saying, no, when you're calling for a genocide of Jews, that's more than speech. That's saying kill people. That's not protected speech under the First Amendment. It would just have been such an easy statement for them all to make, and the hearing would have moved on with little to no attention. They would have all kept their jobs. But they were so committed to standing with the violent rhetoric of their pro-Palestinian students that I guess they were willing to go down with the ship.
I think it's indicative of how deep the rot is inside our major elite liberal universities. But there's a long way to go, much work to do to bring them back to the place where they can once again be great assets for the United States and a great place for young people to go learn and make themselves ready to deal with the complexities of our world.
You know, Mike, I've lectured at Harvard. I've lectured at Penn. I've lectured at Yale. I mean, at all of them. But when I say that was 10 years ago. Because if you go on the college campuses now, and I've done some, including my own alma mater, and it's an unbelievable hostile environment that the speaker is subject to, even if you're trying to do this in like a debate format or a firing line kind of format, the vitriol is unreal. And I think the university professors, unfortunately, have fostered a lot of this.
Look, I hope the solution to this isn't just to say, well, now there's another protected class. Jewish people are a protected class. What we want is the First Amendment to be properly treated inside these institutions, We want every speaker to be able to come and speak her mind or his mind on whatever topic it may be. That's your point, Jay. You or I who goes to Yale or to MIT or to Penn, we should feel perfectly safe, perfectly secure, and our ideas should be taken on board. It is just perfectly fine for those students to disagree with us and make impassioned arguments against the things that we're proposing or our ideas. But that's not what's been happening for these last 20 years. And it is, in fact, the faculty. If you want to know why that hearing went so badly for these presidents, it's because the last voices that they heard in their head before they answered were the progressive liberal faculty. That was the ones, and they did not want to cross them. They fear them. And so that was when they got asked a complicated question that was off what it was they were expecting, they immediately reverted to, how do I make sure I don't upset this progressive liberal faculty at my institution upon whom my daily existence depends?
If you can take out the top three, how much easier is it to take out the head of Ohio State? How much more scared is a level 2 liberal arts school, which sometimes is even more liberal than these institutions, going to be when they know that if they get on the radar, not even of members of Congress, but on their state legislators or their senators, congressmen, governors, that they are on the chopping block. So if they get asked about this now, they know that you better not say, well, when you talk about genocide, it's really in context. Are you an intifada, which is a call to kill and people and to target specific people and to kill them? If you're just using it as words, but there's no actions with it, that's probably protected under the First Amendment. The sad thing is, I didn't know she was an attorney. Now that I know that she was an attorney and she thought that was protected speech, I mean, my God, would she really think it would be protected speech if it was about any other group in the world?
Of course not.